Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Hello to everyone and welcome to Project 365. Well, I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and president of a nonprofit organization, acknowledged as Trophy of Life Incorporated, and we have the distinct pleasure of rendering hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the world. So let's take a moment to welcome my co-host.
Hello, everyone. I'm Takira Swan.
Takira Swan, the one and only beautiful Takira Swan. So we are grateful that you have joined us today, and even those that may join us later on, whether tonight, tomorrow, whenever you join us, we're glad that you tune in. One of the things that we would love for you to do is to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We're almost at our quota for YouTube that we can get our own customized link. So I need you. I need your help to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can take this message of hope, encouragement, and inspiration around the world. Well, I take great pleasure today in having our guest with us in the person of Val Jenkins. Val is one individual who is affiliated with a nonprofit organization as acknowledged as Hug, Don't Shoot. Oh, I love that. I love that. How many people do you know actually need a hug in this pandemic, let alone the pandemic, but before COVID? But I want you to know, even times like this, a hug can change everything. A hug can change a person's disposition. A hug can let someone know I love you and don't have to say a word. It's so amazing what a hug can do. I look at a lot of the young people in the street and I'm thinking, if they just had a hug or someone that cared, that's not happening right about now. So we're going to open the door for Val to come in and share about this organization, Hug, Don't Shoot. She's going to share what she does, whatever Hug, Don't Shoot is beyond what I've shared. And we're just happy to have you, Val. I yield the platform to you to share with us whatever's on your heart.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I thank you both beautiful ladies for inviting me in. And when you reached out to me, I was just so floored because I remember the day that you and I met at a food giveaway.
Yes.
So let's start off. My name is Val Jenkins. I am the founder of Hug, Don't Shoot. So most people ask me, where did the name come from? How did you start? So I started off in the beach of Cancun, Mexico. I was minding my own business. And I honestly had an adult beverage in my hand. I was on vacation. I was loving life, traveling once a month for 8 years, just enjoying my life. I looked on Facebook and I saw that somebody in Baltimore not only was shot, but was murdered. I made a simple statement. We need to start hugging and stop shooting. Then I said, who want to go out hugging when I get back to Baltimore? I put my phone down. I went into the hotel, got dressed because I was traveling with a large group as I've been doing for the last 5 years. I came back that night and 46 people signed up to go out hugging. Wow. I said, y'all, I was playing though. I'm not going out hugging nobody. Y'all done lost your mind. And the people on my page was like, no, let's do it. Let's do it. I said, we can't go out just hugging people. I was like, we need to get a t-shirt, get something to say hug, a hat or something. One niece was like, well, let's get t-shirts that says hug on them. And another niece was like, well, they need to be seen. We need to be seen and heard. So I was like, well, let's do bold colors. We made plans to do it August the 5th, 2017 at 12 p.m. Our goal was to meet at Drew Hill Park, the Reptile House. Why I picked that, I have no idea. We met there at 12 p.m. 46 people signed up. I've been doing promotion for years. And I was always taught, if you want 100 people to show up, invite 200.
Gotcha.
So 46 people signed up, 42 people showed up. I told them, I was like, look, y'all got to prepay for t-shirts because y'all play too much. I'm not going out hugging people. So they prepaid, 46 people prepaid for t-shirts. So I ordered more because this was now funny to me. We met out Drill Park. The crowd was amazing.
Wow.
Everyone got their shirts, their sides. We had names on them. We walked, if you're familiar with Baltimore, we walked from Drill Park, the reptile house, down to Madame Mall.
What?
We walked up to the subway station, and we gave every single person a hug. It was 2 buses sitting there at the subway station. It was 2 buses sitting there, and one of the hug dealers, we called the volunteers hug dealers. So one of the hug dealers asked the bus driver for a hug. He said, I'm not giving you a hug. We was all like, oh, okay. He said, the only way I give you a hug, if you get on the bus and hug everyone. We got on the bus, we hugged every single person on the bus. We got off the bus behind him was like, well, what about my bus? By the time we got off that bus, another bus pulled up and was like, well, what about me and my bus? So we got on 3 separate buses. We hugged every single person. We kept it moving. People was like, let's walk further. We walked down to, at that point, it's Ricestown Road and Gwynns Falls Parkway. So we kept on walking. Next thing you know, we down by Northern Pennsylvania Avenue. We got in the middle of the intersection. For the people who do not live in Baltimore, I hate this name, but it is what it is. We were in the middle of the Freddie Gray era situation, Northern Pennsylvania. We stopped all traffic because the hug dealers was in the intersection of North Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue. We were on each corner of North Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue. We stopped all traffic. We stopped the police department, the police that was there. We hugged the drug addicts. We hugged the drug dealers, and we just kept on going. I recall right there on Northern Pennsylvania, anyone familiar with Baltimore, it was drug transactions going on. I stood in line with the other people who was buying drugs and said, give me a hug. And he said, miss, get out my face. And I said, well, I'm not until you give me a hug. He said, miss, your shirt say hug, don't shoot. I'm not shooting, I'm working. I said, listen, I'm not leaving until you give me a hug. He got up and he gave me an unwanted hug. A hug is a hug is a hug. He gave me an unwanted hug. And I whispered in his ear, some of these people with t-shirts on are police officers and move. Guess what? I lied. None of them was police officers. But guess what? I told him that. He packed up his drugs and he moved down the street. He continued selling drugs, but guess what? That was 5 minutes of him not able to sell drugs to someone. Then I turned around. If you're familiar with the Northern Pennsylvania area, is the Art Social Club. They have a little stoop there, and it is what it is, I'm labeling. It was what I would call a crackhead nodding on that stoop. And it was another guy beside him that did not look like he was using drugs. I'm stereotyping right now. It looked like he was not using drugs. He was a very handsome young guy, looked like he was about, give or take, 23, 24 years old. And I looked at him and said, why? Why are you doing this? And he said, man, mind your MFing business. I'm not shooting nobody. I said, but why? Why are you here? You're so handsome. And the other hug deal was like, no, don't do this. Keep walking. So they literally pulled me away from this guy, these 2 guys, one high, one not. And he said, just for your information, I graduated from college. That made me even more angry. And I said, just for your information, I could guarantee you didn't pay for that college degree. Someone paid for it, regardless if it's your mother or if you received a scholarship, someone paid for you to go to college. And how would you feel if your mother or whoever paid for you to go to college happened to ride past you and stereotype you as a drug dealer or a drug addict? And he said, "Ma'am, mind your MFing business." So I walked away because the hug dealers grabbed me again. So when I walked away, somebody touched my shoulder and said, "Look," the guy that looked like he was not high got up and walked away. And I said, "Thank you." And I said it 3 times and he ignored me. And I said, "Thank you, handsome." He turned around and looked over his shoulder and said, "No, thank you."
Mm.
At that point, I felt like my job was done.
Yeah.
We were there at 4 hours. That happened literally at 4 hours of us being out that day, which was planned for 4 hours. We walked back up to Drew Hill Park because we didn't think about if we walked down who was going
You got to walk back.
We forgot all about that part. So we walked back up Drew Hill Park, and that was our day. I thank everybody. That was our day. We did our 4 hours of hug, don't shoot. Let's move on. I'm ready to plan my next vacation. That Monday, I received a call from the governor's office to thank us.
Mm.
That Tuesday, I received a call from the mayor's office to thank us. Catherine Pugh was in office at that point. Okay, thank y'all. Y'all welcome. I sent it to the people who came and volunteered for us. The mayor called, the governor's office called Wednesday. My girlfriend and I went down to Captain James and we went to eat crabs. As the lady pulled the crabs on the table, I get a phone call from my Facebook inbox from somebody, I have no idea who it was. And she said to me, "How you doing, Val?" And I said, "Fine." She says, "My best friend's son was murdered." In my mind, I said, "Why are you calling me?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm confused because I don't work for the police department or the church or a funeral home." She said, "I know. I've been watching you. And I want to know if you could come and give my family hugs."
Wow. Mm.
In my mind, I was saying, "Girl, I'm eating crabs right now." And I put the phone down and I sent out a group text and said, "This is what happened. Can somebody go there? Because I'm eating crabs right now." Everyone responded and said, "Well, I'm busy. I'm doing this. I can't go." Da, da, da. I did not eat one crab. Baltimore owed me crabs. I did not eat one crab that night. I couldn't concentrate. I sent a screenshot of the information the girl sent me to the same people that I text. And I said, "I'm going to this house." And everybody was like, "Girl, don't go to that house by yourself. Wait till tomorrow. We could go to the bar." Da, da, da. I said, "I'm going to this house." I got to the house about 9 p.m. On my way there, I was like, who do I ask for? I don't even know who these people are. I pulled up and the lady who called me met me at the car. "Thank you so much, Val." Da, 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 da. So she walked me into the house. I am very known in Baltimore, or people know me, I should say. I didn't know a person in that household. The mother of the son who was murdered laid her head right here. And she cried and cried and cried and cried some more. People walked in that house and I guess they were family members. She didn't move her head off of my shoulder. At that point, I didn't even know what else to do but to stand there and hold her.
Right.
So we finally sat down. And I don't know how it happened, but we completely planned the funeral. I shared with them the church I attend. I shared with them the funeral homes that I personally know. I shared with them people who I know with insurance. I literally dumped all the money out of my purse. I have no idea what it was, how much it was, but I gave it to them. And when I left there, we were laughing, we planned the funeral, we had a damn good time. When I got to my car, I realized I got there about 9 p.m. I didn't leave till about 1 a.m. I made a post on Facebook and said, this is real.
Absolutely.
This
Absolutely.
is real. But I didn't think how real it was until the following few days. People were inboxing me. Oh my goodness, Val, somebody using your name. Somebody used your name. And I'm like, so it's a saying, hug, don't shoot. And someone else I don't know said to me in Facebook inbox, I work for the State Department. I'm going to help you to get that name patent. And I'm like,
Wow.
girl, I'm not doing all that. I'm living my best life right now. What do you do when you get something patent and trademark? She went through the process. I went down there. She helped me out with the paperwork. I still didn't know what I was getting myself into. I really didn't know anything about a nonprofit, getting grants, none of that stuff. Then every day, someone else called me. Every single day, someone else called me for a hug. Then we would go out. We would plan, let's go to this place. Let's go to this place. People calling me as you called me. People were calling me, can y'all come to this? Can y'all come to that? And you got to realize we had a big following. We got bright green, neon green, orange, purple colors. So we're not only heard because I got a big mouth, but we're seen everywhere we go. So people was calling us and calling us and calling us. Then it was, can you come to my school and talk to my students? Can you come to the nursing home and we will play games with the seniors? Can you come here? Can you come there? Then I realized they calling me for things that don't have nothing to do with shooting. And
so
then
they pretty much wanted a hug?
They pretty much want hugs. So then we would go out and people be like, oh my God, y'all out again. This is your 30th event. And then we realized that people in the community, not us, but people in the community was counting how many events we were out. And it got so high that I think the last time we counted was probably like 400. We stopped at 428 at counting how many events we went to. Why did we stop at 428? Because if anybody follow me, they know anything that I say with numbers is 428. Y'all been late 428 minutes. Go ahead, 428 seats, because 428 is my birthday.
Okay.
And I started doing that when the doctors gave me 6 months to live in 2017. And I realized everyone want to know the date that I was born, 428.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever gone into a room or atmosphere where just giving a hug changed the atmosphere?
Yes. We went to everywhere we went, but let me share with you the biggest moment that wowed me. We was asked to go to the governor's house in Annapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got there, it probably was about 12 hug dealers. We were on the bus having a ball. And I noticed that every event, even from funerals, we had a ball. We got on the bus and it was some seniors. Oh my God, can y'all be quiet? Y'all making too much noise. Y'all like, that's how they treated us. We walked into Annapolis, which was my first time there. The mayor, the police commissioner, the governor, the whole 9 yards. When we walked in, everybody started chanting, hug, don't shoot, hug, don't shoot. And I was like, oh my God. It was like, instead of us wanting to take pictures with the mayor and the commissioner and all that, they were standing in line to take pictures with us. And I'm like, unbelievable, unbelievable. And it just kept going and it kept going and it kept going. And the moment where it became frustrating, it was tiresome. Anyone know me, know I'm able on a credit score. I feel like if someone owed you or gave you something, you're supposed to pay them back. So I'm real anal on a credit score. Anyone know anything about nonprofit, you have to open up a separate bank account. My credit score dropped 10 points, not because I was late on any bills, but because of usage of the card. I was frustrated. People was calling me every day. I wasn't
Okay.
getting no sleep, and I decided I was going to end Hug, Don't Shoot.
Mm.
I was at Langston Hughes Community Center, rest in peace, George Mitchell, the first person who really gave me a chance in this. Some lady, I didn't have on a Hug, Don't Shoot shirt. I just came to give George a hug, as I always did. Some lady was there, and she walked up to me, and she said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I was like, "Why?" And she says, "2 weeks ago, I was at an event, and you gave me the biggest hug." And I said, "I know, girl, I be doing stuff like that." And she said, "I was going to commit suicide that day." I went in the bathroom and I cried my eyes out. I cried my eyes out. And I can't even count how many times since that day that people called me suicidal. Suicidal. Next thing you know, I was asked to come to the Jewish synagogue when it was a shootout for the Jewish community.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the Jewish people calling me to come to the synagogue? And I was excited, but I was nervous because one of my faithful board members from day one is Jewish. I was excited to go and support her, but she wasn't even the one who invited me. Mm. So I got there late because I was unaware of which Jewish synagogue I was supposed to go to. I thought she went to one, but that's not where they was having the church service at. So by the time I got there, it was basically over. We was leaving out the church. I met up with my girlfriend. We was leaving out the synagogue. And when I went to leave out, I let the door go, but I didn't see anyone behind me. And then when the door went to shut, I realized somebody was coming out. And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Remind you, I had a coat on. So the lady didn't see my Hug, Don't Shoot shirt. I had a coat on. And the lady was crying. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "I just need a hug." And me and my girlfriends looked at each other with a look of fear, or not like a ghost, like we seen a ghost. And this lady that I never seen a day in my life hugged me so tight.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, I was asked to speak at the Muslim mosque. Then we was invited to the Catholic church. Then we was invited to a senior building where we played games with the seniors. And then we had a game night at Langston Hughes Community Center. And the fun part of the game night was the children was not allowed to play a game with the children. It had to be a senior with them. So we had Senator Barbara Robinson, who she and I was playing together with bat and ball. She called me the biggest cheater, but she the one was cheating. We were playing George Mitchell, if you're familiar with Langston Hughes, we was playing jacks together. Marilyn Mosby, you had all the higher, per se, people there. And it was absolutely amazing. Easter, our first Easter event, we wanted to have a little teeny Easter party to get the children off the streets. George Mitchell, another event at Langston Hughes, George Mitchell at the end of the day said, "Do y'all realize 984 people signed in to come through these doors?"
It's amazing. It is amazing how powerful just a hug. Many people may say, "I don't have anything to give." Well, matter of fact, about now in COVID, of course, you can't do the hug. So what is your plan before we wrap this up? What is your plan after? What are you doing now in COVID, as well as maybe a plan after COVID?
Well, I don't know if to say unfortunate or fortunate in this situation, because since COVID, we have been more busier than we've ever been before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So now we don't touch anyone at all. I have major health issues, major health issues. So I'm very careful out in these streets. So we came up with something that we do, virtual hugs.
Mm.
Our first virtual hug was on the corner of Falls Road and Northern Parkway. And we asked people to blow their horn and give us virtual hugs.
Ah, good.
And I was so blown on how many smiles that we received on it. So we did it on Northern Parkway and Falls Road. We did it again another week on Falls Road and Ricestown Road. But then we received a call from Amazon, who's one
Mm-hmm.
of our biggest donors. Donate, they give us the most stuff. They gave us 30,000 cases of chips. What are we gonna do with
Give
30,000
them out.
cases?
Give them out. Mm-hmm.
We stood on the corner of North Avenue and North and one of those streets, or North Avenue or East North Avenue. As soon as the hug dealers pulled off up, let me tell you how ironic this is. We pulls up, no chances of rain whatsoever. It was a sunny day. As soon as we got out the car, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. It poured down rain and thunderstorm, lightning. It completely turned dark time outside.
Mm.
We was like, let's wait. One hug dealer was like, we're here now, let's do it. We stood in a thunderstorm and we asked people to blow their horn in a safe way, pull over, and we threw with gloves on our hands. We threw cases of chips in people's cars as they blew their horn.
Mm.
So we still give out virtual hugs. We
Mm-hmm.
still do funerals. We did Taylor Hayes, the 6-year-old that was murdered. That was the first high profile funeral we just did.
Okay.
Everything we do don't have nothing to do with shooting. It's not about shooting.
Right.
We not only planned, but we paid for the repairs of the gas explosion. Family on Ricestown Road. Their entire family is now hug dealers. They go everywhere we go at now. So we do funerals like that. Frankie, the MTA bus driver who was just murdered, we will be doing his funeral this week. Troy, the other bus driver that was just recently murdered, we did his funeral. So we work harder now during the pandemic. Everyone, we have Hug Don't Shoot masks, we have Hug Don't Shoot gear, but we don't touch anyone. We do
Okay.
not touch anyone.
And that's the way it has to be during this time until we can do better. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to meet and connect with you, because I would love for you to send me that information anytime you have another gathering where I can come and blow my horn. I can do that. And I know I will definitely help to share the word on my media platform however I can. So our audience just can't say, I can't help. It is something that we can do, even if it's a donation. Somehow, some way, if the audience wants to contact me and get your information, I'll be glad to share that with you, because still, look, I remember when I first met you, I talked about partnering. So I'll send you that letter so that we can really get it down on paper, and we'll make it happen. We'll definitely make it happen. Just want to say thank you so much. It's amazing how God uses people in different ways,
Yes.
Yes.
And to chime in before we leave, you said the key word. People say, I didn't heard it all. I don't like touching people. It's different reasons why people don't like touching people.
Right.
You have people been murdered, raped, they've been touched inappropriate. We not only do Hug Don't Shoot, but Hug Don't Shoot spokesperson is Monique, known as Monique. She's the oldest living Jane Doe in the world. She was stolen as a kid. So she and I team up and we do human trafficking and sex trafficking. We also teach hug etiquette, because it's a etiquette
That's
to
good.
hugging someone.
That's good.
People saying, how can I help? You said another key word is donation. I've been out here for almost 4 years, over 1,700 events, and we do not have not one grant. Not because no one gave it to us, because I personally, it's real, a whole lot of personal reasons why I have not applied for a grant. Everything is in order. I work a whole lot of jobs, and BGND is my number one sponsor and supporter when it comes to time. I'm on company time right now, and they okay with it.
Good.
It's so much to it when you come
Good.
with grants, and I mentally can't handle it, honestly.
Well,
So,
we'll pray that someone comes your
right.
way and make it
So,
happen.
yeah, so far we've been getting donations, regardless if it's $1 to $500, we will receive it. Hug, don't shoot. In order for you to go out to be a hug dealer, we ask to register because it's our
That's good.
responsibility to know who's out there hugging with our merchandise on. So
That's
you can
good.
register under Hug, don't shoot. Become a hug dealer. The only thing we ask is if you decide that you want to go out to hug, reach out to me or the board. You send us an email and say, hey, today, tomorrow is Friday, and I have nothing on my agenda. I would like to go out and volunteer. So even if I'm not available, we will get another hug dealer because guess what? We don't wait for events, we make events.
Gotcha.
So if you want to go out Friday, we're going to make Friday a holiday, and we're going to go out even virtually hugging someone, because no matter where you go at, someone need a hug.
Someone needs a hug. Takira, take it away. Thank you so much, Val. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience and organization with us. Anyone who knows me, like personally knows me, you know I love hugging. Like hugging is my thing. Like and it's been so hard for me since the pandemic because I can't do what I do and hug people. But I really appreciate your organization because a lot of people don't know about the healing power of a hug. And it's not anything like all spooky and mystical. It's just statistically proven that hugs actually make you feel better. They release dopamine and serotonin in the body, which helps to lower symptoms of depression, anxiety, stress. They offer hugs, offer safety, comfort, happiness. They're healthy. It's also proven that people who don't get hugs are less healthier than those that do. And not just physically, but mentally, and of course, in here as well. And hugs offer hope and encouragement. And as silly as it may sound to some, hugs are so necessary, which is why one of the reasons, well, I just like hugging, but hugging really can be a ministry actually, because when you hug people, when you're given that hug and that embrace, you don't even know how much you are helping someone go through something that you know nothing about. And a lot of times I've realized when someone offers a hug, it's also because they need a hug as well. It may be subconscious, but it's like, you know what? So you're healing each other through the power of touch. So I really appreciate your organization. And one thing I really appreciate is how you offer etiquette on hugging, because of course this world is crazy. People are so inappropriate, but when hugging is done from a genuine and loving place and done the right way, it can heal so much. It can heal mentally, physically, spiritually. And I just thank you so much for you and your organization, because a lot of people don't have things like this. And I honestly cannot wait until the pandemic is over for real and it's safe to hug again. Because I just feel like the world, I mean, it's silly and as corny as it may sound, like the world really would be a better place if everyone would just embrace the hug. And if also parents, aunts, uncles, if we start hugging our loved ones and our children from a young age and teach them that, it's okay to feel, it's okay to express emotion, it's okay to release, because hugs release that negative energy, then I mean, growing up, we'll have a lot more healthy people out here. So I just appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing that with us. And I can't wait to support one of your events. And also, if you can't go out and support, of course, because of the pandemic, like she said, please donate. And also any grant writers out there, if you want to donate your time to help her write a grant, if that's something you want, just reach out to her, send her an email, and we would love to support. So thank you so much.
I feel like I just went to church. That was absolutely touching.
Yeah, she's like that. She's got it like
I
that.
was,
Yeah.
I was so into it. Now I need a whole gospel song to play in the background. Like,
You're so silly, Lord.
Thank
that
you.
was so genuine. That was so real from both of you ladies. It was absolutely touching. And I say it all the time. The hug that you give may be the hug that you need.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm just so grateful for today. This is something
Yes.
that many people need all across the country. It's not just in Baltimore, not just this side of the country, all over in the earth. And I'm so glad that you brought that information to us. And we plan to share it. We're going to share this segment as well as upload it to YouTube so that when anybody wants to talk about what can I give, they can give a hug. And you say, someone may say, well, we're in a pandemic. You can give a virtual hug. So we got you, and we're praying for you. Just keep up the good work. All right.
And can I end it with this? We now wear masks. We no longer can hug. But if you look at a person, even with a mask on and 6 feet away, if you look them in the eye, like you should look at them anyway when you're talking to them, you can see the smile in their eyes. So
right.
Don't allow the mask to stop your love, nor don't allow the touch to hold back how you feel. The eyes tells it all. I am legally blind, but I still have a vision.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, anyway, I tell you what, God is with you, girlfriend. God is with you wherever you go, and we want you to be safe wherever you go. Well, on that note, we're going to leave you for today, and we pray that you have enjoyed this segment. We will see you on tomorrow. God bless.
Thank you. I feel like that church, like, don't go, don't go. Don't go. Thank you, ladies. Have a blessed day.
Amen. You too.